Welcome, gentlemen. My name is Mr. Charles, and I'm with Boys and Girls Club of Baton Rouge. Today, I want to talk to you guys about Passport to Manhood. Passport to Manhood is a program that we run here with Boys and Girls Club, which teaches a young boy how to become a man. A lot of you guys are high school students. The time is now to become a man. You might think what it takes to be a man, but every day a man learns more and more about himself. So to dive right into it, we're gonna go into session 1 of Passport to Manhood, which talks about what is a man. And the title of it actually is Understanding Manhood. Today we're gonna talk about what do you think the ideal man is, and what do you think a real man is. Also, at the end of this video, I will have questions for you to answer that you can submit online after watching the video. The only materials that you will need today that you can find in your Club on the Go bag is a notebook and a pencil to jot down some notes and to also write your responses to the questions that I may have. So the first thing we're going to talk about is the man stereotype. What is the male stereotype? There's a lot of things being floated around what a man should be, a man should do this, a man should do that. That's what I mean when I say a male stereotype. The actual definition of a male stereotype is a mistaken way of thinking about how boys and men are supposed to. Keep in mind I said supposed to be. Who knows what actually a man is? We all have our different definition of what a man is. What I want you guys to do for the next few minutes is to actually jot down what do you think the ideal man is. I'm actually going to bring in one of my co-workers, Miss Jan. Miss Jan, can you come to the sit down area? I actually want to ask you a question. Everybody, this is Miss Jan. Miss Jan, you can introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Miss Jan. I'm here with Mr. Charles.
So Miss Jan, I want to ask you, what do you believe are the qualities of an ideal man stereotype?
Ideal men stereotype would be like how they say, bring home the bacon, like working a steady job, keeping food on the table, not spending time at home because he's always working, just being like a uptight person and not showing emotion or not sensitive enough, being like a hard person, and that's pretty much it.
Okay, so when you say that, put yourself in that predicament. What if that was your dad, and he was never sensitive, always at work? Only time you saw him was when he was in the morning when you wake up, or at night right before you go to sleep. Is that what you want your dad to be, or your husband to be like that?
No, actually, my dad is pretty much kind of like that. It's kind of hard to like connect with him on that ways because he wasn't always there, and plus when he was there, like he was tired from working all the time, so it made it hard to speak to him. And when you did speak to him, it was like hi, bye, and not much conversation. So yeah, no, I would not want my husband to be like that at all.
Because I don't think the kids would like it. Because you probably wouldn't want the same thing you had growing up to come back into play.
Yeah, definitely want better for my kids. Like that's pretty much all a parent wants is better for their kids. But I want them to have like the good parts about growing up with a parent or like a father, but not the bad parts that I experienced.
And I guess for us, growing up at the time that we've grown up, our parents coming from being born in the 60s and 70s, and then having parents born in the 40s or 50s, whenever they were born, it was, I guess, drilled into them, a man is supposed to work these kind of jobs.
Yeah.
And keep in mind, times were completely different back then.
Yes.
They couldn't work and have the same opportunities that we are afforded.
Yeah, my dad, he actually was kind of like a manager at a plant, like in Exxon and all that kind of stuff. So he worked the long hours, And when he got home, he was ready to eat and go to bed. So, yeah.
And even sometimes people say, you know, the best job for a man is to be, you know, working away or things like that, where you make the most money. But sometimes money isn't everything.
That's correct.
Because we want time with it. I know I want time with my daddy.
And that's the thing that I think most fathers, like when they first become a father, they don't know how to be a father. And with my dad, he he didn't spend much time with me, but when he did, it was like him buying me stuff.
Right.
Know? And I was like, okay, that's cool, because I was young at the time. And I was like, okay, I got new things, I got stuff to play with, I got stuff to wear. But as I got older, I was like, okay, you know, I want to spend more time with you, you know? So yeah.
And then sometimes I think about, sometimes as a man, you feel, well, if I buy you like something nice, that's my way of showing my appreciation.
Yeah.
And showing that I do love you. It's not that I don't love you, but here's a gift so you remember I love you.
And I think a part of that comes from like a male's like instinct of trying to always make the person that they care about happy. And you know, if I buy you this, which I know you like, you'll be happy.
Definitely, I can definitely understand that. I can say, me personally, since we're having a personal conversation, my upbringing was a little different. My grandfathers, both of them, were men who worked in a plant. My mom is a school teacher, and then my dad actually went to school to be an accountant. So he had like the typical 9 to 5 kind of thing. So he was there when I would get home from school, or when I was going to school in the morning, off on weekends. And I often used to take it for granted. He always here anyway. But some people don't get that opportunity because their fathers do work in the plant, like for you. And it's not that they don't want to be around, but working at being in Southern Louisiana.
And they feel like some fathers that like work at the plant and things like that, like they feel like they're taking care of you by working so many hours, like you putting a roof over your head, getting food on the table for you, like to survive and basically meet all your basic needs. But the thing about my parents, one, they never married, and so they broke up by the time I was born, I think. And so they never lived together at all. So I would see my father, and I'd go back to my mom and all that kind of stuff. So it was kind of like, it was normal to me. Like I didn't know anything other than that. So when I saw other kids having like one father and then one parent, like the mother, and living in the same house, I was like, oh, that's interesting. But it was kind of like they worked together,
right? And that's the good part
to
about
make
it.
You know, so it wouldn't be like such a strain on me, which I'm so very glad about.
Right. And I think that's another thing with being a man too, accepting your responsibilities.
Yes.
Every relationship is not going to work.
Yeah.
But you have to put that foot forward. Like, those are still my children. I will still be in their life, and that's a good thing. Your dad was still there.
Yeah.
It's a lot of young men out there who they see their dads, but they don't know their dads.
Yeah, definitely. Because like the relationship is like they know their dad, like they know their name, they know where he lives and all that stuff, but like they don't actually have the time to spend with them. You know?
And so here in our notes that I took from different sources, a lot of people think the ideal man is a man that's rough, aggressive, never asks for help, does not back down, takes charge, doesn't cry, always in control. But the thing about that is, real men, at times, you do cry. Something will hurt you and it will make you cry. You don't always have to be the tough guy in the room.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's good to just be quiet. Take a step back. Let somebody else do something.
Yeah.
You don't always have to be the aggressive person. It's okay to, like I said, step back. Let somebody else do. So at home, what I want you guys to do after you jotted down what you think an ideal man is, we want you guys to actually jot down what you think a real man is. What do you think a real man encompasses? For me, I believe a real man is a man that take care of his home, is there for his family, isn't all about drama. Drama is definitely not the way. A man who can be looked up to from, little kids look up to him. A man who's always there willing to help, not never turning a cold shoulder on anybody. That, to me, that's what a real man is. What about you?
The part where you said like, not turning a cold shoulder and not, just brushing people off and acting like, you're not worth helping or anything like that. That's a thing that happens, like, in this day and age. Like, a lot of people, not just male, but people in general, feel like they, don't have to help people. They feel like they're entitled to stuff, and that, they don't have to work for anything and stuff like that. But, that's basically how we were brought up, and we're supposed to be changing that for the next generation. So I think that a real man, learns from mistakes from others.
Definitely.
Like, is a good example of, even if you make a mistake, you own up to it and just keep moving and learn from it. Not prideful, because everybody needs help sometimes. We all make mistakes.
We do make mistakes.
And one that knows what to say and when not to say it, and also one that actually like kind of has like a sensitive part, like isn't afraid to show that part of him, but it just is what it is. He's not afraid to be himself.
Definitely. He's confident within himself. Definitely.
Like, he doesn't change who he is just to please other people. But he's like a real man,
And I think that is what a real man is. You are yourself at all times. Nobody can make or break you.
Yeah.
You stand on your own too at all times. My next challenge for you guys at home, inside your journal, take a few minutes to actually write about the kind of man that you want to be, the kind of man you want to see yourself as, what you want people to view you as. Just take a few minutes to actually jot that down in your journal. It can be a paragraph, it can just be some notes, just for yourself. That part, you don't necessarily have to turn it in, but if you want to, you can definitely share it with us, and we'll bring it up in our next session. Being a man it's a lot. I'm not gonna say it's hard, because it's not hard, but like Miss Jan said, be yourself. Just be yourself. Everybody isn't constructed the same. We don't all have the same thing going on inside of our bodies. Everybody's different, so every man is different. What you might see Superman do, Batman definitely won't do it. What you see the Joker do, another villain won't do it, because they're different. They might have similarities, but at the end of the day, they're both different. Now that we're winding down this session, I have 3 more questions that I actually want you guys to answer and submit to us at the end of this video. The first question is, what were the earliest lessons you learned about becoming a man? Question number 2, was there a moment in your life when you knew you had to become a man? So was there ever a moment that you just had to step up before it was your time? Sometimes it is like that. I think everybody pretty much has a moment where you either have to become a man or you have to become a woman. It's life. Especially at the age you guys are, being in high school. You have to make decisions sometimes without your parents, because in these next 4 years, after you turn 18, the world thinks you're an adult. Of course, to your parents and family, you'll always be their baby, but to the world, you're an adult. There's gonna be a lot of decisions you have to make without mom and dad or grandmother or auntie or uncle. It's all on you.
And don't take that the wrong way, because you can still ask for advice and stuff like that, but
don't be scared to ask for advice.
Yeah, please don't. But at the same time, you're gonna have to make that final decision. Like, you can ask for all the input, but at the end of the day, it's your call.
Definitely. Like I said, don't be afraid to ask for help. That's another part of being a man. when you need help, ask for it. Sometimes you can't do everything yourself. It's just not possible.
Yes.
And she can tell you sometimes being a woman, you can't do everything yourself. Sometimes you need help.
Not at all.
My last question for you guys is, how do you know if you are a man today? That's kind of tricky. How do you know if you're a man? How do I know I'm a man? I know I'm a man because I'm not afraid to ask for help. I definitely stand on my own 2 feet. I'm there for others when they need me. I'm a hard-working person. I listen. You have to, being a man, you have to be able to listen. Everything you hear, you might not like, but sometimes you just have to take the time out to actually just listen to other people. Sometimes it's for your good. If you stop talking sometimes and just listen to what others are saying, you'll be like, yeah, I want to go with them, or no, I don't want to go with them.
Brings something to mind, which I know a lot of people say this, and I'm just gonna bring it to you guys as well, that you should be slow to speak and quick to listen.
Definitely.
So you just gotta shut your mouth sometimes and just listen and hear. Not hear just to hear, but listen. You know.
That's actually something we've talked about in Boys and Girls Club before. It's called STOP, and what it stands for is slow down, think, observe, and then plan. Slow down, think about it, observe it, and then plan out your action. That will keep you out of a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
By just thinking before you do something will definitely keep you out of a lot of trouble. Ms. Jan, I want to thank you for coming with us today. Young men, we will see you guys next week. Y'all have a great week. Don't forget to turn in your answers to the questions below the video after the video is over. Thank y'all.